Hello, everyone. I'm Keith Bryant, and welcome to the Keeping Up with Keith interview series. It's our 10th episode. This is going to be our last episode for the year, and it's a great one because we have an amazing guest today. I mean, she is just fabulous. She was recently named 30 under 30 by Forbes, especially in the media category. So today, she is the anchor and reporter at Como 4 in Seattle. She is an Emmy winner, a Golden Mike winner, an author, and a professor too. So today, we are keeping up with Tyrah Majors. Hello, Tyrah.
Hi, Keith. This is so fun. And thank you for that introduction.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we have to announce all those accolades. Like, come on.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm super happy and excited. I can't wait for this interview.
Yes, absolutely. Well, first, let's just talk about the 30 under 30 for Forbes. I mean, how did you find out about it, and what's your reaction to being on that list?
Reaction still so shocked and excited, very surreal. How I found out about it was a friend of mine reached out to me on Instagram, someone I haven't spoken to in a while, actually. He DM'd me the link out of the blue saying, "Congratulations." And I was like, "What? Congratulations." And I first looked at it and I thought it was like a spam, like a fake link. But then I clicked on it. I'm like, wait, this is like realforbes.com. So it was a shock, but it feels really right. Although feeling shocked, it feels, yeah, like I deserve this moment. So I'm soaking it all in. I'm super grateful for the
Yes,
recognition.
absolutely. And so, I guess, how do you get on the list? Were you nominated? How does the process work?
Yes, I was nominated. And then there are a panel of judges who vote. So I don't know too much about the process, but I was able to get in touch with the editor who wrote the write up about me. And I was able to thank her for the write up and told her I was excited to be on this list. And yeah, I guess there's a set of judges for every category. So I'm in the media category. There's also health and science. There's some other categories there, and there are different sets of judges who decides who makes the list.
And do you know who nominated you?
I have an idea. I have an
Okay.
idea. I have an idea, but like I said, whoever nominated me, whether it be the person I think it is or a stranger, it's awesome to be nominated or even considered to be on a list like this one. So yeah, just soaking in the moment.
Okay. And your career you have just shot up like a superstar. You started in Bakersfield and now you're in Seattle. You're anchoring your own show and adding a social media element to it. So just tell me about your career and what you're doing right now.
It's been an awesome journey. So my career, let's see, Uh, it's gone by so fast. Things are just moving fast. But I've been in broadcast journalism specifically for almost 7 years. I started in Bakersfield. That was my first market 120 something. Bakersfield, just a small town north of Los Angeles. I started there right after graduate school at USC. And there I was a morning news reporter. I was doing 12 live shots a day out in the field and covering everything from breaking news to fun feature community segments. And then I got hired in Seattle here at Como News, which is the ABC affiliate, at the end of 2020. So I moved to Seattle about a year and a half after working in that Bakersfield job and moved here during the pandemic, during COVID. And at the time, I was hired to be a traffic anchor for the morning news shows, and that quickly evolved into
Mhm.
many other things. As you mentioned, now I anchor my own show along with a co-anchor named Steve McCarran, and we are bringing the community hot topics. We're talking about local issues, but we're going more in depth. And you mentioned that social media element. We're really integrating what people are talking about online, viral moments, comments from people, what they might think of a issue happening in town. Lots of live interviews. I mean, it's the
Yes.
that's the bulk of the show. A lot of live interviews, a lot of ad libbing, but I love it so much. I have never liked to box myself into just doing one thing. So I feel like
Mhm.
in my current role here in Seattle, I'm really able to do so many different things. Everything except for weather, which I know you're the weather expert. So
Yeah.
one territory I don't like to dip my toes in because I'm not a science girly, but I love stories. I love writing, love interviewing. I like being out in the community as well. So I'm in a good spot right now. It's been a fun journey. Yes.
Okay, tell me about ARC, for Como 4. That's the show that you're anchoring. So, what does that entail?
Yeah, authentic relevant community is what ARC stands for. And as I mentioned, we are really tapping into the community. We're going beyond just the news headline or the quick, you're familiar with the news term VOSOT, which is just
Mhm.
VO soundbite, voiceover soundbite. We're talking in depth about uh, what's happening in the community across all topics. It really could be anything. We're just going in depth, having those conversations, lots of live interviews with people in the community, with officials. And then we're also integrating social media, comments online. The comment section goes wild on posts. So we're showing
Yes.
people's comments on screen in real time. And that's really fun because it gives people opportunity to feel like they're a part of the broadcast.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I guess you are filtering the comments. You're not like pulling everything, as you
I
know how
do.
some people can get.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, but it's been
And
it's been awesome. We've been on for about almost 2 years with ARC Seattle.
oh wow, that's fantastic. And so let's talk about social media because I know you are a professor at Seattle University and you started your own class based on social and video storytelling.
Yes.
So can you tell me about that? Like, why did you decide to do this?
Yes, so I went to USC and got a master's degree right after undergrad, and I wanted to go there with not the thought in mind that I wanna teach, but because I didn't feel at the time like I was ready to completely jump into the first job post, bachelor's degree. I just wanted some more time, and I also really liked school. I was, like, such a little nerd, and I love school, and I was like, "I wanna go to get my master's degree." Anyways, long story short, I was here in Seattle working the morning shift. And the morning shift, you're working 2:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I
Yes.
found myself with all this extra time in the day. I was binge watching shows on TV, going shopping, walking around, whatever. I was like, I want to go back to school, but I don't want to be a student again. Like, I have this master's degree. I'm going to see if I can be an adjunct professor. And so, what I did was pitch a class, and
Hmm.
Seattle University picked it up. They said, "We like this idea." So, the first class I pitched was called Social Media and the News. And what it entails is mobile journalism, mobile storytelling, teaching the
Hmm.
fundamentals of journalism, but we're doing it all on our cell phones now because, as you know,
Yes.
that is completely not even where the business is headed, it's where the business is. That is how people are consuming content. So, I figured, why not teach a class where students are still getting the fundamentals of journalism and storytelling, but they're modernizing it. So, we're telling stories on TikTok and
Yes.
Instagram, and we just had a really fun assignment, like a social media explainer, which so many people do these days, content creators. They're
Yes.
having an expertise and they're explaining it, and students loved it. I mean, like, they really ate that topic up. So, they thought it was the most fun assignment, and so, I don't know, I really wanted to teach not only because I had the credentials, but because I felt like I could use my skill set and transfer it in the classroom. One of my favorite parts about teaching is, like, first day of school, I'll say, "For a show of hands, who wants to be in journalism?" I might get 3 students who raise their hand. I ask the same question at the end
Wow.
of the quarter, and then I've got maybe 10 hands. So it's like, "Okay, I'm here doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm inspiring them. I'm hopefully, helping develop that next generation of journalists because we need them. We need journalists." Everybody can get on TikTok or Instagram and talk about a news story, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are a journalist or that they're doing the job right. So I feel like
Mhm.
I have an obligation to do this now. I didn't know if I was going to do it for more than one semester, and now I think I'm going on my eighth. So it's been fun. The students are great. They're interesting. Generation Z.
Yes.
They teach me a lot too. I enjoy them.
No, that's great. And I guess have you got any feedback or is there like an anecdote you can share from one of your students about how this class has really impacted them?
Yeah, yeah. One of my students, his name is Caleb Stipkovitz. I know he wouldn't mind me calling him out, but he knew what he wanted to do first day taking my class. He knew he wanted to go into broadcast journalism and he did really well. He took feedback so well. And by the time he was graduated, he had his first offer to go work as at a news station. And I felt so proud. I just felt like I played a part in that, in addition to his other professors as well, but he also was one of our interns at Como News. He really just
Mhm.
he did the work and he followed directions and listened and wasn't afraid to try new things, and that's what it's all about. I wanted to teach this class so that students wouldn't be afraid to try something new and step out of their comfort zone, and it worked well in his favor. I told him, "Hey, you've got great broadcast packages and great storytelling in your reel, but why don't you add one of your TikTok videos?" And he did, and he got hired. So, not saying it's all me, but
Yeah.
it's that story.
No, I know, absolutely. And I want to talk about, doing those TikTok videos or video or reels for Instagram because I'll say there are still some journalists in our industry, even in our same age group, are still hesitant
Yeah,
about doing that social media content because, maybe because as journalists, we have that critical thinking skill that some pockets of it could be toxic, and I don't want to for people.
for
I
sure.
already get the criticism
Right.
online as it is, but now
Yeah.
you want me to do another thing online and get more criticism? So how do you find what, advice would you give to, I guess, journalists who are struggling with that balance? Like, it's now becoming required of their
Mhm.
job to put that out there.
Well, first off, I'll just say it's okay to feel the way you feel. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of demands. Not only are we having to deliver for TV, for web, and now for social media. I mean, it could be overwhelming and you don't want to get burnt out. I deal with that every week. But at the same time, let's see, I would tell them two things, people who are hesitant. Try it out. Try it out. If it's not for you, it's not for you, but at least you tried it. And then people are going to find your content. They're going to find it. And so that'll be good. But also, I don't know, you have to meet the people where they are these days. We just got breaking news today that the Oscars are gonna stream on YouTube. Like, they're not even
Mhm.
gonna be on ABC anymore, which is wild. And all the years the Oscars has been around, look at it being on YouTube now. And so you gotta put the content where the people are. You can put together the best stories. And if you're only doing it for cable, for linear, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice, you're doing the viewers a disservice. You wanna get word out about whatever you're reporting. You wanna inform people, put it in multiple places. Start small. You don't have to do anything super fancy. You don't have to use a bunch of effects. Just get on there and do what you do for TV, but on social media. Talk about what you're seeing or re-upload your TV piece to social. Start small, baby steps. So yeah, try something new, meet the people where they are, and baby steps. Those would be my three pieces of advice.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's what I actually recommended to one of my friends. It's to say, just take the story that you did that night and just post it on your Instagram,
Just it doesn't have to be
Just
crazy.
yes. Just started out that way. Because
Yeah.
I was just thinking about as reporters or anchors who want to get those top prime
Mhm.
spots, they're gonna need to have a piece of a social media pie in their
For
puzzle,
sure.
and that may be the factor over someone who doesn't have that over someone that does.
It's important to
Uh,
have, it really is, and give yourself grace too. I mean, I need to take my own advice. I'm not, constantly posting as much as I would like as well, but, small wins are wins, even if they're small wins, I should say.
Yes, yes, absolutely, and when you made that point about the Oscars, say, going, YouTube in the next 4 years, like, I found out on my phone, and I was like, "Oh, crud, I need to put this for my content myself." So, I was, like, in my
Great.
pajamas, so put on a jacket, record it, and just simply do a simple edit, and boom.
Yeah. Yes, exactly, just talk about it.
Mhm, and so, for your students, so oh gosh, what tools are you teaching your students
What
when they're
tool?
gathering out in the field?
Ooh, it's really those fundamentals. Um, it's nothing too different than what traditional journalism classes are teaching. The main difference is the platform and the way you go about doing it. So, focusing on one, the writing, the
Yes.
facts, what's your story? Why does it matter? What are the news values? What impact does it have on people? Why do we care? And then from there, who are you going to talk to? You need a character. Character meaning who's being impacted by your story. What do they want? And then an expert who can explain why things are the way they are. And I give them free will. I want them to want to enjoy their work. So my message is pick a beat or don't pick a beat. Whatever you want to focus on, pursue that. So I'll have them pitch a story and I say pick a topic, whatever you want. And if as long as it hits those news values, if you're showing all viewpoints, multiple perspectives, then go for it because I want them to want to enjoy their work. I don't want them to feel like, a drag. I mean, journalists, we've all been there where you're assigned a
Yes.
story that you could care nothing about, or that's just not that exciting for you. So I want them to feel thrilled, but I also want them to be doing a service for people and making sure they're following those fundamentals. When it comes to social tools, um, creativity is big. I let them, use their own creativity. Shorter is better, in my opinion, when it comes to
Yes.
social media. We all have very short attention spans out here. People scroll and scroll and scroll until they find something that they want to stop on to watch. So I just let them know to make it captivating, keep things concise, talk like you're talking to your best friend or your mom. It's the similar fundamentals as we've learned in broadcasting. But so far so good, and I feel like every quarter there are new tools. There's always a new app, there's always a new trend, and we tap into that whenever there's something new that's integrated into the curriculum.
No, that's great. I mean, you're doing a service for future journalists and for yourself too. So this is amazing.
Woo!
And yeah, absolutely. And so I also just want to circle back to the Forbes piece because it mentions again you are one of the youngest Black female anchors. Gosh, on that list and the country. So I guess how does that feel for you, especially as being a journalist or a Black woman yourself, especially in Seattle, because I think you're one of few
Yes.
who I know have that title, and I just think about like even here in LA, now I see like we do have some, but there could be better, there could be more.
Yeah,
I always say.
sure.
But how does that feel for you, taking on that, I guess, that, representation for people?
It's very important. I mean, like you said, I can count the Black women on TV here in Seattle on both my hands, which is not okay. I can count them in LA as well. It's just how it is. But I do feel an obligation to be here and do well. I mean, I could say, "Hey, I wanna go work in a city where there's more Black people," but it's like, "Okay, yes, great," but also I know that there's a Black population in Washington State, and I know that there's a little girl or a little boy watching TV in their living rooms who, if I leave to go to another city just to say I wanna be around more people who look like me, then I'm doing them a disservice, you know? So, I do feel like it's very important. I feel an obligation, and I'm very happy to be representing here in Seattle. I'm the only Black person on air at my station, and there is a bit of a responsibility.
Yes.
You think about the holidays. You think about like the diversity, equity, inclusion holidays, or not holidays, but like stories when it's like, oh, it's Juneteenth, we got to do a Juneteenth story. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll do it. It shouldn't be
Yes.
that way.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be that way, but it is the way it is. But hey, someone's got to do it. And if it's not going to be me, then I'm looking around. Who's going to do it? Nobody.
Mhm, mhm.
So
Exactly.
it's not only that obligation, but year round, making sure I am telling stories that also represent my community in a positive light, getting their voices heard, whatever the story may be. Like it's an obligation, and it's one that I'm happy to have. I'm also I serve on our NABJ board here in Seattle.
Mhm.
I'm the vice president of broadcasting, and so that's been a really cool role to take on to just make sure I'm also being that representative for our Black journalists in town. So it feels good. I know I read that line on the Forbes article, and I was like, "Wow, that's neat." I'm gonna keep going.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep going.
Yes, no, representation is very important, very important. Just, like for me, even though like wanting to be a meteorologist, seeing Al Roker,
Neat.
or Spencer Christian, I know on GMA, growing up, like, okay, I think I can do this. uh,
Yeah. Shows you that it's possible.
yes, exactly. I mean, even watching Beverly White or Pat Harvey, watching this with
Yeah.
my grandma back in the day. So that representation is very important. So let's talk about some hot topics happening in our industry.
Yes, and also before I forget, I'm
Yes.
putting you down as a guest speaker for next quarter.
Okay, Tyra, let's talk about the hot topics that are happening in our industry. I think, creator journalism versus traditional journalism. We got the influencer, the journalist. I mean, guess the explainer, I guess. So, right now, news stations, I think the biggest topic is using influencers for news content. There are some stations that are partnering with, I guess, informational influencers to work with their news stations. Should we go this route? Is this the best route for us?
I guess I didn't know that that was happening so widespread. I have seen it a bit, but I think it could be dangerous at times. I think if a news station is choosing to partner with an influencer, they need to be vetting the heck out of whatever content they're putting out. So there needs to be a lot of oversight. Not saying that influencers are just spewing out wrong information, but as you know, with traditional journalism backgrounds, there's a certain standard you have to uphold. There are ethics to follow. There's rules and regulations. And so I do think that is the one of the biggest pitfalls of seeing influencers, informational influencers, or independent journalists. They don't
Mhm.
always have the credentials. They don't always abide by the ethical rules and standards, which you should. And that can be misleading to the public if they're not getting things right or if they are not doing things how they should be doing. So I think it depends on the content. I think if there's like a lifestyle show or like a fun thing happening in town and you want to partner with an influencer for more engagement, I wouldn't like turn my head at that completely. But I also would just have news organizations encourage their people, their journalists to, I guess, put on that influencer hat and get out there and create content. We can do it too. We'll do it ethically, but we can also do it more in that, I guess, influencer style. That's a tough one. That's a good hot
No,
topic. What do you think?
what do I oh god, it's hard. Because after doing so much and I got my master's recently in digital audience strategy,
Congrats.
it's about attention. I think we're shifting away from ratings into attention. And that's why streaming is probably ahead of everybody else because they can grab people's attention quickly whenever they want. They can get someone's attention at the grocery store or in the bathroom and traditional television cannot meet them where they are,
Right.
uh, per se. And it is a slippery slope. I think, like you said, I think they have to be vetted, like heavily vetted. Because also I don't want these influencers to also that be a cause for erosion for
Mhm.
employment.
Oh,
And we have seen that with some media mergers. And I don't want the influencer to take someone's job away.
concerning.
Um,
Yeah.
and s and it's because they have so many followers and they can grab that attention. Do they have the passion? Are they doing the work? And I think that's where the vetting process comes around. Do you wanna do this? Like, is it a mutual beneficial relationship?
Mm. Mhm.
So, that's how I feel about because I know there are some journalists who are now doing independent journalism, which is great, which I'm doing it myself.
Exactly, exactly. And you have the
Yeah.
skills, you got the credentials, you have the background.
Yes, yes. Because I know people talk to me about Aaron Parnas a lot. Because I will say he does cite his sources. He does cite a lot. But one thing I will say, he treats everything like a breaking news story, which I feel every news story is not a breaking news story.
Right, right.
'Cause, I had to do research, like, okay, let me just c let me I have to do research and see, is this bad or good? But he is getting people, and I'm like, "Oh gosh," over, some other national reporter, over Rachel
Right.
Scott or someone.
Wow.
You know, I
What
guess
do
we
you
have to see
say
how it's
about
gonna
that?
p yeah. We have to see how it's pan out because I think, unfortunately, I think the news caused the symptom itself.
Mm,
I will say that. I will
mhm.
be real with that. This is like the news they caused this influencer system because people felt they had distrust with the news, and especially I mean, you probably heard it probably within the Black community from some of our relatives. I don't want watching this, like, I see them putting us in a bad light all the time. I rather listen to, Charlemagne,
No,
The
for
Breakfast
sure.
Club.
For sure. People and they have options. more options than ever on where they get their information and their entertainment.
Mhm, mhm. I think that's 2026. It's gonna be about AI, creator economy. It's gonna be I mean, look at all these look at the battle going on for Netflix and Warner Brothers and all that. That should be an implication.
Yeah, no, it's a telling sign. I'm just like, "Where are we headed? Oh my gosh, we're cooked."
Yes, and just think again, YouTube again acquiring the Oscars.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
and that has been on ABC. Yeah, like for yeah, 100 yeah, forever, for since I was born anyway.
Same, same, same.
And now it's gonna move to YouTube. I'm like, oh, so I'm not gonna see, George Pinocchio does his Oscar special reports in
I
the next four
know, I
years.
know. I wonder what that's gonna be like. Is YouTube gonna have their own, like, correspondent? Probably, who knows?
Yes. I mean, I hear Netflix is trying to get into the sports game, and I think
Mhm.
they're starting out their sports news
Yep,
division
yep.
very soon. So I wonder how that's gonna work out. Um, there's a lot of uncertainty, but there's some stuff that excites me, but we'll see. Maybe journalism needs a shakeup. I don't know.
The uncertainty is exciting. I think it
Yeah.
is.
So we'll just have to see what happens. But so we're gonna wrap this up. Tyra, what are you keeping up on?
Keeping up on sleep. I'm serious. End of year, this is your last episode. Hey, I'm saying we've been working hard. I think I am keeping up with rest, or I'd like to keep up with rest. Um, you mentioned like all my accolades and job titles and things at the top of your episode here, and I'm so glad to
Mhm.
do all those things. But also sometimes I forget to slow down and just chill. So I am going to be doing that, keeping up with my rest in the near future. What else am I keeping up with? Oh my gosh, I'm a huge entertainment, culture lover, junkie. I'm probably gonna go watch the movie Wicked for Good for the second time
Okay,
in
yes.
theaters. Like, I will go and see a movie I like multiple times if I really do like it. Big music lover. So, yeah, keeping up with pop culture moments and just kinda having fun. I'm, like, taking a little break right now. Not a break. Do we really
Yeah.
ever take complete breaks? I mean, the news is
Yes.
24/7. But in my free time, I'm just gonna focus on keeping up with the things I enjoy most. Yeah.
That's lovely. And what's on your playlist? Any music I should listen
Ooh,
to?
how about nothing new. I actually recently looked at my Apple Replay, kinda like Spotify Wrapped, and my top artist was Beyoncé, and she didn't even drop new music this year, and I've got a lot of Lady Gaga, a lot of Ariana Grande, a lot of,
Mhm.
Summer Walker, SZA. I mean, I'm kinda mainstream, I just listen to the mainstream pop R&B girlies over and
No,
over
this I
again. Yeah, what's on your playlist? Who's your top artist?
top well, I don't use Spotify or the Apple Music. Since I just get an album, I just listen to it over and over again.
What's your favorite album?
Of this year, well, I'm obsessed with Olivia Dean.
Okay, she's so fun and a breath of fresh air.
Yes, just a breath of fresh air, so I love her. And actually, you know what? I saw Sabrina Carpenter in concert a few weeks ago,
How is she?
and I was extremely impressed.
Okay.
I mean, I like Sabrina, like, I'm not, like, obsessed with Sabrina. I get it.
You
I
get
get
it.
it. I like it clicked, everyone knew all the words to all her songs, and she sounded how she sounded on the album, which I wasn't too sure about. So
Amazing. We love that. We love when live singing matches up. She is so cute and fun. I love her outfits and she does look like she has a good stage presence too.
yes, yes. So that's pretty much. I mean, right now because I've been going through deep dives of British music.
Ooh.
Um, I think one artist. So Olivia's, of course, is one that's everyone's raving over. Another one someone should look out for is Sienna Sparrow.
Sienna Sparrow. Okay.
Yes, yeah. I feel it may be her year. She's more like people compare her to an Adele, but more urban contemporary.
Like that. I'm intrigued.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, so
Sienna
she's on the U
Sparrow.
yeah, and everyone, like, I guess Ryan Tedder wants to write like, there's, like, a songwriting battle
Good
because
to
she haven't
know.
has an album yet, so
I'm always looking for
yeah.
new artists. Like as you heard, I play the same old people over and over again. Awesome.
Yes. And any Christmas traditions that you're doing for the holiday?
So I'll be going back home to Southern California, born and raised in San Diego. So every
Mhm.
year, my grandma has like a Christmas Eve family party. So I'll go to that. And then on Christmas Day, just spend time with my family, enjoy hopefully some sunshine. It is cold and rainy in Seattle. So I'm looking forward to Christmas in the sun as you know it, being in California yourself. It is a wonderful place to be in December. How about
Yes.
yourself? Any Christmas tradition?
Got watching The Preacher's Wife with my mom.
Love that.
That is like our Christmas tradition. I just love seeing that movie.
Good.
Even though I want her to get with Denzel, I know it's wrong. She should not cheat on her husband.
It's like you've seen it so many times and you're still like, "Why did you do that?"
Yeah. So just doing that and just baking. Honestly, I've been on this baking kick, trying to bake all the cookies from the New York Times recipe list. So,
Hey, please mail
yeah.
me some. I love cookies. I'm a great taste tester.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
I'm not about to mail this girl some cookies, but that's amazing. I love that. Passion projects. It's so fun.
Yes. So anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
Just thank you so much for the opportunity to be on your show. Congratulations to you for having your own platform and on your amazing career as well. I don't even remember how we initially first got in touch, but San Diego,
Mhm.
San Diego Association of Black Journalists, and
Yes.
yeah, it's been nice to follow your journey and super happy, so happy for you and glad to be a part of your season. Episode
Yes. No,
10.
no, this is great. Thank you so much. And Tyra, where can people find you? Where can they follow you?
On social media at Tyra Majors on everything. Tyra with the H. Yes.
Hey, that is great. That's great. And I know because you also have a book out with your great grandma too. Do you want to plug that real quick?
Thank you. Yes, this book is a children's book. It's called Grammy and Me. It's about a young girl and her adventures with her great grandma, and it's available on Amazon and on my website, tyramajors.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
lovely, lovely. So, Tyra, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
yes, for our 10th episode, the last episode of the year. Because next season, I hope to get, more guests for next year. So, Tyra, again, thank you so
Can't
much.
wait. I just said can't wait. I'll be tuning in to your next season.
Thank you so much. And remember, you can follow me at Keeping Up with Keith on all my platforms. So that's YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So again, happy holidays and happy new year. See you next time. Thank you, Tyra.
Thanks.